Hey everyone, it's John here from Untitled Hockey, back with another video, and today's video is actually going to be a really interesting one. This one took a bit to organize and get together here, and it's a weird one. It's going to lead into me predicting the playoffs and the bracket, but through NHL 20, so an actual simulation of starting at March 12th when the season ended. They suspended the season on March 12th, and we haven't had hockey since, so I'm actually going to sim the rest of the games. So it's a weird thing because this is another thing that NHL 20 EA should be doing. They should be giving people the ability to enter the season at a certain point whenever the season is. So I had to actually sim and do it so many times where it got close to the current standings, and then I had to keep saving it and then going into different settings. So I don't have the teams at the points that they were at, but I have basically the standings at what the current standings are today. So what I'm going to do is just in terms of let's see what happens throughout the rest of the season, and based on that, I'm going to make a bracket out of it. And I'm going to let NHL 20 sim the playoffs and see who the Stanley Cup winner is. So we're going to get a whole bunch packed into this video. Definitely please subscribe if you are new. Smash that like button. Leave a comment. And of course, hope you enjoy. And if you want more content like this, definitely let me know. So we're going to just honestly, starting with the Blues Stanley Cup champs, we're going to honestly use them. And we're just going to sim and see what the standings are. So let's sim to that final day and see what the final standings are. Wow, so a first round matchup of the Blues versus Blackhawks. Are you kidding me? And the Sabres make a huge run at the end there and make the playoffs. Imagine the Sabres just win the rest of their games. They go on a Sens run and make the playoffs. The Panthers make it as a wild card. Wow, okay, so these are some crazy matchups here. So based on the simulation of that final stretch from March 12th to April 4th, which was the last games of the NHL season, this is the playoff tree. So we're looking at the Stars versus the Avalanche. So that was the 2 versus 3 seed. The Blues in the first seed against the second wild card against the Blackhawks. Then the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Calgary Flames. The Flames finishing in a wild card spot versus the Vegas Golden Knights, who finished top of the Pacific. And the Vancouver Canucks, who finished second against the Edmonton Oilers. So that's on the west side. And then the east side, the second seed Penguins versus the third seed the Capitals. The Capitals fall from that first seed to the third seed. The Flyers versus the Florida Panthers. The Toronto Maple Leafs actually jumping to the second spot, and the Boston Bruins having a horrible end of the season and falling. Again, that's probably unlikely in real life, but we're going with this. The Leafs versus the Bruins, another matchup where the Leafs get home ice advantage. And the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Buffalo Sabres. So the hot take, the Buffalo Sabres. Are you kidding me right now? I think that's absolutely crazy. I don't think anyone would predict that in real life. If it happened where the Sabres went through a huge stretch at the end of the season and other teams went through losing streaks, obviously that's super unlikely. But we saw the Sens do that with the Hamburglar. We've seen it before where a team goes on a crazy run at the end and barely loses any games and squeaks in. So in that scenario, the Buffalo Sabres would get the second wildcard spot and just sneak in. It's possible, but very unlikely. Who knows? But now I'm going to predict it through my bracket challenge and see how accurate I am compared to this simulation, and I'll sim to see who wins the Stanley Cup through this NHL 20 simulation. All right, so this is going to be my bracket predictions based on that rest of the season simulation, and then I'm going to compare it to the playoff simulation on NHL 20. So let's go through it. I'm not going to do too much explaining. So Blues, Blackhawks, Stars, Avalanche. I see the final result of that being Blues versus Avalanche. I could see it being the Stars because of home ice advantage, but again, I've said it time and time with the Avalanche being healthy. I do see them being the more complete team. And then down Vegas versus Calgary, Vancouver versus Edmonton. A little bit of a hot take, Calgary over Vegas and Edmonton over Vancouver, and getting that Battle of Alberta second round. I could really see that happening. And then Tampa, Buffalo, Toronto, Boston. I see it being Tampa versus Toronto. I really think the difference could be if Toronto, and I've said it before, if Toronto was to have home ice advantage, they've made it to 2 Game 7s. If they can get there and have that home ice advantage, I think it could be huge for them to, exercise those demons as the Washington Capitals once did over the Pittsburgh Penguins, and facing the Lightning, and then the Flyers against the Panthers and the Penguins against the Capitals. I see that result being the Flyers versus the Penguins. Again, home ice advantage is huge. Penguins over Capitals, I think that would be close. Flyers over Panthers, I think that is, I don't think I need to explain that too much, but you know what? More complete team. Panthers are definitely weak in a lot of aspects. All right, so let's go to conference finals. Lightning versus Penguins. So, man, that is definitely a rematch. I think the Lightning could be the dominant team that goes out of the East, but we'll see if the Penguins. And then the Western Conference Finals, the Blues versus Oilers. So, wow, the Oilers getting that opportunity against the defending Stanley Cup champions. And then the Stanley Cup Final, the Blues versus the Lightning. And the Lightning beat the Penguins in the conference finals and then beat the Blues to get that Stanley Cup. So now we're going to go to the NHL 20 simulation and see how the playoffs turn out and see who wins the Stanley Cup through NHL 20. All right, so we're back on NHL 20, and I'm going to stick with the Blues here and see their perspective, and we'll obviously see the first round results on that right side. So we're going to sim through all 7 games and see what the result is. So let's go to the 19th after the first round. Oh, so the Blues sweep the Blackhawks in the first round. Wow. See you later. The Flames beat the Golden Knights. So the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers are in a Game 7. We're going to go see that. And the Leafs sweep the Bruins? What? And the Lightning beat the Sabres in a 7. Bro, this is whack. And the Stars beat the Avalanche. The Capitals sweep the Penguins. Wow. And the Flyers beat the Panthers. So the Edmonton Oilers versus the Vancouver Canucks in a Game 7 in Vancouver. How insane would that be? All right, let's sim this game. A Game 7. Sim period. Edmonton Oilers up. Edmonton Oilers up. And the Oilers in a Game 7 beat the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a huge game. Wow, Koskinen clutch in Game 7. So as I predicted, we're going to get a Battle of Alberta in the second round. I think that would be so much fun. That would be crazy. So let's follow this series because I think this could be absolutely crazy. All right, so let's sim through this 7 games here. Whoa. Whoa! In a 6-game series, the Edmonton Oilers beat the Calgary Flames and are playing the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Finals. So the Dallas Stars beat the St. Louis Blues. Are you kidding me? Stars versus Oilers and Flyers versus Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final. So now let's sim. This time I'll go a little slower. We'll sim through the first 4 games. This is crazy. Okay, so series is up 2-1 for the Oilers. All right, and the Lightning are up 2-1 on the Flyers. So let's sim through a couple more games. Or at least one more game. See if the Oilers go up 3-1. Oh, they lose. So it's 2-2 in the series. Lightning and Flyers are tied 2-2. Man, these series are getting a little crazy. The Stars go up 3-2 over the Oilers. And the Flyers are up 3-2 over the Lightning. All right. And does it go to a Game 7? No! The Stars eliminate the Oilers in 6 games. And they will play the Philadelphia Flyers, who beat the Lightning in 6 games, in a Stanley Cup final. Bro, this is crazy. Just imagine. So it's the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Dallas Stars. Drum roll. Let's see who wins the Stanley Cup final. And it is the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers pull out the dub in 5 games. They beat the Dallas Stars in 5 games. So that even through the break, they take that momentum and they take it to the Stanley Cup final, beating the Dallas Stars and getting that Stanley Cup. Claude Giroux hoists the cup. So this is the simulation. You see the Stars beating the Avalanche in that first round, the Blues sweeping the Blackhawks, the Oilers beating the Canucks in a crazy Game 7, Koskinen clutch, Nugent-Hopkins, the underrated MVP, and the Vegas Golden Knights lose to the Flames. We get a Battle of Alberta. The Oilers down the Flames in 6 games. The Stars beat the Blues in 5 games in a shocker. And the Stars then beat the Oilers and make it to the Stanley Cup final. On the other side, the Capitals sweep the Penguins. The Penguins get swept back-to-back years. The Flyers beat the Panthers in 6 games. The Leafs sweep the Bruins, which is just insane. I don't think that would ever happen. Obviously, people are going to already say in the comments the Leafs would never beat the Bruins in general. But, you know, at least with home ice advantage, they get that start and they just carry the momentum. We've seen crazy results in the playoffs. Not saying it's going to happen. The Lightning get a little bit of a shock, and they have to wake up from the Sabres. They do beat them in 7 games. They go on to beat the Leafs in 5 games. So the Leafs wake up from that sweep, face reality, and the Lightning, after that scare against the Sabres, beat the Leafs. And the Flyers sweep the Capitals, the reverse sweep. We saw reverse sweeps last year. Last year, the Blue Jackets obviously swept the Lightning, but then went to an okay series. But then on the other side, the Islanders swept the Penguins, but then got swept by the Carolina Hurricanes. So we saw a few sweeps and the reverse sweeps early last year in the Eastern Conference Final. We're seeing it here. Then the Flyers beating the Lightning 4-2, and then the Flyers beating the Stars to claim that Stanley Cup. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I didn't get my predictions completely right, but you know what? I had the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final. I had the Flyers getting to that second round. I had the Oilers make it to the Eastern Conference Final. So you know what? I wasn't completely accurate. I had the Battle of Alberta in the second round. Like I said, I could have saw the Stars beating the Avalanche, but you know what? I was wrong in that aspect. They made it all the way to the Western Conference Final and then made it to the Stanley Cup Final. So pretty crazy aspect. I said the Flyers, watch out for them in the playoffs, and look what they do in this simulation. They win the Stanley Cup. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you are new. For more content, leave suggestions in the comment section. Definitely drop a like. It really does help. Honestly, it takes a second. Drop a like. Let's get at least 100 likes on this video. And yes, of course, I want to see more people in this community, so definitely do subscribe. This was John from Untitled Hockey. I hope to see you on the next video. Peace out.